For 8 weeks in the winter of 2020, the San Francisco Bay Area will resonate with the sound of violins. They will sing with the voices of artists, scholars, activists, and those who have suffered incomprehensible injustice. The Violins of Hope is a collection of more than 70 string instruments originally played by prisoners in Nazi concentration camps. They have been fully restored in the past 20 years by Israeli violin makers Amnon and Avshalom Weinstein, and the Violins of Hope are now touring the world. To commemorate the 75th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz, Music at Kohl Mansion has commissioned composer Jake Heggie and librettist Gene Scheer to write a dramatic song cycle. With support from the William and Flora Hewlett Foundation, the piece will premiere at the Kohl Mansion on January 18th and 19th, 2020. It will be played on instruments from the Violins of Hope collection and will launch 2 months of transformative events.
Music at Kohl Mansion is an organization that has been presenting chamber music concerts in a beautiful Tudor-style mansion that's a little over 100 years old now.
My grandparents were Jews who were kicked out of Germany and dispersed throughout the world. Some came to the United States, others to South Africa. Other members of my family were murdered.
When I was 9 years old, I witnessed a film that I wasn't supposed to see, and it was about the Holocaust. It showed bodies being shot and then put into the ditches on top of one another. And I went home, I couldn't talk about it, and I went into my bedroom and just played my violin and cried.
The warning signs today are all over. This is becoming a society that is not inclusive. And America has always been a place of inclusivity. And to live in the world now and to not speak out is really very upsetting.
One of my teachers asked me to play the Kol Nidre for Yom Kippur when I was about 14, 15. I sat down, and before I played a note, I realized that the front row was already weeping.
The violins don't just sit on a shelf and get put away. They continue to resonate, they continue to make music.
The Holocaust is a potent reminder of the terrible cost when people remain silent or indifferent in the face of suffering. Since the Nazis had intended for everyone that was sent to Terezin to eventually be sent to a death camp, during this transit period, they allowed people the opportunity to create. And that was a way of deceiving the world, that they could show the Red Cross, that there were concerts, there was musical composition, they were treating people humanely.
There is tremendous pain represented in these instruments, and that's where this piece comes in. It is really important that we do not lose sight of that moment in history.
Dealing with loss is very challenging, and tragic loss of lives cut short is something that is very hard to come to terms with. And what could be more powerful than touching the instrument that those hands once touched?
Seeing the actual instrument that had been through all of this, thinking of the hands that it has been through, the thing, if it could talk, what would it tell us? Well, that's the goal of this commission, of this big collaboration through the Bay Area, is to allow those violins to speak in many different guises and to many different communities and tell us what they've been through.
The instruments themselves survived. And so the notion of the Violins of Hope is to take these instruments as talismans, as embodiments of these lives that were cut short, and to give them a new life.
Great art does not exist in a vacuum. It really speaks to the time and the place that the work is created. And this particular work is really born of this moment.
For me personally, it's extremely worrying that there is a generation of people out there that either deny that there was a Holocaust or cannot believe that something like that happened.
Genocide and discrimination are not a thing of the past.
There is no limit to human hope and to realization of human dream. Sometimes you don't need words, but you need music to bring people together.
And hope, when you're talking about the Holocaust, is, a difficult hope, a difficult version of hope. There is a scriptural phrase called the hope against hope. We need that hope against hope. We need that hope that can really face down evil and tap into goodness. We don't let Hitler have the last word.
Music has a direct relevance, and music is the only language in which you cannot lie. Music is about the truth.
What I hope is that as many people as possible will come and participate and will be part of sharing this dream together.
This project, Violins of Hope, fits here perfectly because it represents diversity, and California is all about diversity.
This is more than a story about the past or the Holocaust or the Jewish people. This is a story about all of us, our history, our hopes, and our future. Join us for 8 weeks of inspiring concerts, exhibitions, and events throughout the Bay Area. Together, we'll explore and experience the alchemy of healing through the transformative power of music.